This is what you're going to learn how to create in Davinci Resolve. Start by adding new fusion composition like the usual, and let's make it 10 seconds long. Then open in a fusion page. Connect a background node from here, then reduce the alpha to 0 to get a transparent background. From the media file, connect to this map, which you'll get the link in the description alongside with all the assets that we will use in this tutorial. Now, create a duplicate from this one, shift plus space, and add a color corrector node so we can create a dramatic version of it. Start by lowering the saturation to 0, then also lower the lift, and we are already getting there. And you can adjust the other values to your liking or copy my settings here. And there you go. But to transform it a little more to be like a real map from the real world, we need to add a couple texture to it, like this one. Change the blending mode to overlay and reduce the blend to 0.5, and it's a bit better. Also add this paper texture and again change it to overlay, and as you can see it adds more realism to it, and it's work for both the two map versions. Now let's animate it by adding a transform node so we can zoom to Japan area. A faster way and efficient way to do it is by adjusting the pivot to Japan location and keyframe the size. Create one at the beginning and one after 60 frames, and then zoom all the way to be in the side like this. And you can adjust the pivot to be perfect in the center. In our animation, we start from the chord map to the dramatic one, and to transform it into a cool way, we are going to add an ellipse mask to the second map, and from the viewer, put it in this spot so we can keyframe the height and width of this ellipse. Again, in frame 0, create 2 keyframes in both of them, then move to frame 60 and create another one, and scale it all the way until it covers the whole map. Then return to frame 0 and decrease the two values to 0 so we can have this nice reveal effect. And if you want, you can activate the motion blur in the ellipse mask from here. Let's smooth the keyframes by opening spline. Make sure that show only selectors are checked, then select both of the transform and ellipse nodes. Click here to show the graphs, select the whole thing and hit F to smooth it. Then Ctrl plus T and adjust the graph like this so we can get a faster animation at the beginning, then a slow one at the end, like you see here, and it's way better now. From the media file, add this PNG of the map and you can choose the apply mode that you want from here, but for me, I found that the darken is a better one. Shift plus space and add a soft glow node and keep adjusting until you're satisfied with the look. Then, to give it a nice reveal, go to like frame 50 and in blend create a keyframe, then move one frame and create another one, and do this 6 times. Return to the first one and reduce to 0, then in the second one keep it 1, then 0, then 1, and keep doing this, and eventually you'll get this flicker effect to this PNG. Now let's create the callout, which is a simple one. Just connect a background node and change the color to white and connect it to an ellipse mask. Resize it like this and put it here. Again, add another one, but this one connected to a polygon mask. From the viewer, create 3 points like this and increase the border width to see the line, so you can adjust it to get a perfect callout. To animate it, head to frame 55 and create 2 keyframes in the width and height, and move like 20 frames ahead and create another one, then in the first one reduce it to 0 to get this zoom effect. Also in the polygon mask create 2 keyframes but in the length and reduce the first one to 0 so we can have this nice callout. Next, I'm going to add this pre-made text animation to speed up the editing workflow. You can find the link in the description if you're interested. Basically, it's going to be like this. Just put it on top of the callout, and to adjust the blur, animation speed and appearance time, head over here and keep increasing the appearance time in frame 75 until it disappears. To start from there and increase the animation speed to like 10, and lastly decrease the start position to start from a closer position. And there you go, no keyframes needed. Now let's create this pulse effect. Start by adding a background node and change the color to green and connect it to an ellipse mask. Adjust it and put it here and add the soft glow node to it and keep playing with the values until it pop-ups. Connect another background node and change it to white, then duplicate the same ellipse mask and connect it to it to get the same position, but uncheck solid and increase the border width and resize it to be like this. Then to the animation part. Head to the same frame where the callouts start and simply keyframe the width and height of the green circle to zoom out like this, and for the white stroke, start before the green circle and keyframe the width and height and move way ahead to like frame 110 and create another one, then reduce the first one to 0. Next, head to the white circle merge node and keyframe the blend, but make sure it's the same keyframe length like you did with the width and height. And in frame 110, reduce it to 0 to get this pulse effect. You can smooth the graph like I do here to get a better animation, but it's up to you. But the most important thing is to make it loop all the way to the last frame. To do this is by selecting the two graphs and head down here and click on this icon, Set Loop. And you can see it created for us the loop that we want, and you can play the animation to see the effect happen. Next, duplicate the same tree nodes 4 times and distribute them across the map. But to make them unique a little more, we need to adjust the appearance time of the pose effect to each one to be more diverse. Open the keyframes tab and start by selecting every ellipse and merge node of each one from left to right. Then select the second ellipse and merge node's keyframes and move it a little bit, and do the same thing to the other ones to be overlaps, and as you can see they start a bit late from each other. The next step is by adding a bit movement to this map so we can add the data after it. Click on the transform node and create 2 keyframes in the angle from frame 60 when the zoom stops, and another one in the last frame, and increase it just a little bit to be more dynamic like you see here. Now let's add the data graph. Move the media out all the way to get some space and add a background after the transform node. Change it to white and connect it to a rectangle mask. In the viewer, adjust it and increase the corner radius. And to give it the glossy look, after the merge node, add a soft glow node and a Gaussian blur. Then grab from the input of the rectangle mask to the blue output of the soft glow and again to the Gaussian blur. Then, to be able to see the effect happen, head to the merge node and lower the blending to like 0.4. The gain of the soft glow to like 0.5 and the blur strength to 0.3. And now you can see the nice effects. But to transform it even more, after the background node, shift plus space and add edge detect. And it's already been transformed as you can see. You can change the mode to grayscale edges if you want to change the color of the border to your liking, but I will keep it white. And you can adjust it even more here. Next, add a grid node and also connect it with the rectangle mask so it can appear only there. Change the measure lines spacing to 0, width to 1, and you can play with row and column cells to get the grid that you want. When you finish, go to the settings and lower the blend to like 0.2 or 0.1. Now, let's create the graphs. Just add a simple background and connect it to a polygon mask, and from the viewer, use the grid as a guide and create 3 points. And increase the border width, and you can readjust the point to your liking. The next step is just filling the graph with simple text by using the base layer settings to move them freely. But make sure to put them all within the same merge node. For the years, just write the first one, then hit tab and write the second one, and do this several times to get a perfect spacing. And for the vertical ones, I just use the simple space bar to fill the numbers. When you're done, shift plus space and add a drop shadow node and adjust it to make the words appear clearly. We're done here. Now let's create the 3 graphs. Grab another background and connect it to a polygon mask, then from the viewer just create several points to make the line. Then delete this keyframe over here and increase the border width to show the line. And to make it pop, add a soft glow node and play with the settings to get a nicer look. To make the second line, just duplicate this one and connect it within the same merge node. Then change the color and draw another line and do these steps one last time, and there you go. On the right side, we're going to add another background node connected to another polygon mask, just to create these 3 simple indicators, and we're going to animate them later. For the text animation, again, I'm going to use my pre-made text animation and put it here. You can grab it down in the description or just use your own, it's up to you. Now, to set up the animation for this data, we're going to use this rectangle mask over here. Just move ahead to frame 120 and create keyframe in the height, and move like 40 frames and create another one. And in the first one, lower it to 0. Then head to the spline editor, select the graph, then right click and in ease, make it out cubic to be fast. Now, simply copy these nodes, then paste it several times and connect it to every merge node down here. This way, we get this nice reveal in this frame. Next, just before the rectangle shows up, let's animate the lines. First, the white line, create 2 keyframes in the length and position and move like 20 frames and create another one. And then in the first one, lower the length to 0. Then zoom all the way to see the point, then go to the middle point and keep increasing the position until it's centered here. This way, the animation will start from here until the last 2 points. To animate the 3 graph fast, you can do that with the new Davinci Resolve 21 version. Let me explain how. Just select the nodes that we are going to animate, which are the polygon masks, then head to the inspector tab and click on this icon over here, combine selected tools. You'll notice that the 3 nodes are selected, and these are the parameters that they are shared with each other. Now simply create 2 keyframes in the length, then in the first one lower it to 0. And there you go. It's done for all the lines at the same time. If you want, you can smooth the animation like I do here to make the animation slow at the beginning, then fast at the end. But it's up to you. Now, with the same steps,
do the same thing
to the other lines, which you also animate the length. For the next animation, I'm going to fix only appearance time over here in the animation controls. Just head to the desired frame and keep increasing the appearance time until the text will disappear. Then adjust the speed and the start position to get the animation that you want, if it's fast or slow. You can now copy the same text animation 3 times and adjust its position separately, then you will come up with this animation. Just a final touch that I like to do. After the transform mode, you can add a vignette and adjust it to redirect the viewer's eye. Also, in the templates, you can search for the chromatic aberration and add it to get this nice look. And lastly, after all these nodes, you can add a grain node and lower the power a little bit to transform this map to like a film look rather than a digital one. And we're basically done here. Thank you for watching and see you guys in the next one.